In a world with entirely too many shows about cars, this is another pointless automotive podcast.
Second time I had to hide a body, right?
Definitely.
Welcome back to another pointless automotive podcast. Chadwick and
Hi.
Frank.
That's me.
Distinctive. Hi. Joining you again, and we are happy to have you. In case you couldn't tell by the Aventador in the background, not in my garage. We
Not
are
yet.
at our lovely host car park here in overcast. Probably going to rain a lot later.
Gloomy,
Pleasanton,
Pleasanton, California.
Pleasanton, California. Very, very outlier-ish weather, but we endure, I guess, because we're
Exactly,
inside, surrounded by.
I know
absolute-
life is hard, isn't
Yeah,
it?
surrounded by absolutely beautiful automobiles. So thanks again for Car Park for hosting us.
Yeah, giving us a home.
Yeah, nice little place to stay.
Yeah,
Today's episode, I came up with a funny title, and I was thinking about it. We're kind of like, we're not snobs, but we do like kind of the same things about automobiles. We like
Sure.
our manuals, man.
Manuels.
I think nothing is more transformative for a car experience than rowing your own gears, whether it be a turd box, which is mostly what I pilot.
Right, yeah.
You throw
generally.
a manual on there, big difference between that and an automatic, especially an 80s or 90s automatic, which is 3 to 4 gears usually.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And not
case.
not particularly good ones.
Not at all
usually.
good. Not at all good. Very clunky. You can feel when it shifts.
But there's lots of manuals left that you can buy.
Still a good amount. Definitely not compared to like in the 90s, early 90s. We're way down.
Or Europe.
And so that's why I'm calling this episode. It's a little tricky to say, but fun.
Is
Modern Miracle Manual Machines.
Ooh,
So-
I'm not going to attempt to repeat that. I'm just going to let you carry that flag and wave it proudly.
That's why I said it at a very slow, well-defined pattern.
Soldiers' shoulders. Soldiers' shoulders.
Unique New York.
Exactly. Yep.
So today we're going to name some cars, particular cars we like. I know it's easy to say, oh, the Porsche 911 can still be had in a man. Of course, it'll always be, right? Let's be honest. But we're going to name
Certain
some
specs.
some other cars, maybe not even just sports cars that we enjoy, are still offered. Thank you to those OEM manufacturers that still put a manual in their vehicles.
There's a few of them out there.
Yeah, and we should celebrate it because, look, guys, we're all complaining that there aren't enough manuals. But who's going out there and buying them? You guys driving them?
Well, here's the thing. I think
optioning that
I
manual?
heard someplace somewhere
Did you?
that
was a very unique,
I know. I'm
specific
really
source
good. I'm
material.
really good at
I'd like to see
naming.
the
I'm
citing.
protecting my source. An anonymous source states.
Yes.
That's the sneaky way of
That's
just
good.
pulling numbers out of your rectum. I think I want to say that say 5 years ago the order take on the manual transmission was like 0.7%, and now it's up.
Yeah.
It's up a whole like it's up to like 1.1% or something. Like it's and climbing. I know.
Is it because of mass transportation? People are.
I have no idea.
Who knows
It
for
could
that
be.
data?
I don't know what the driver of that is. I mean, I suppose that there's maybe, I don't even know. I'd struggle to say that there's more offerings today than there were 5 years ago. Probably not.
Yeah. No, because they've killed quite a few just recently,
Sure.
right? So, Honda Accord.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're gonna name some cars. I kind of want to go back and forth with this, but
Yeah.
What do you celebrate that still comes in a manual, Frank? Like a modern car, 2023, you can go and purchase with a absolutely 3-pedal option.
Oh,
yeah.
boy. And I think the crux of this is the extreme majority of things that are available still with a manual transmission are high performance options.
Absolutely. Yep. Definitely.
However,
for a reason.
when I think of like your 90s not performance cars, your more economy focused cars,
Base model, if you will.
yeah, those cars are the delta between driving one with an automatic and driving one with a manual as far as fun factor is enormous.
Absolutely huge.
And so, if you have a 1990 Honda Civic with a manual, it's actually like tossable. It's kind of fun to drive. Like you can get around and you can not be going fast, but you can have an okay time.
Yeah,
Versus
revvy.
an automatic, like you're just, you're driving a coffin.
Yeah. Really.
And so,
Especially if you get in an accident early.
sure, exactly. And so that's where I miss the most of these manuals. If we're trying to be you tried to say alliterative in this. You've set the bar with alliteration here with the title of this episode.
Yeah,
I'm
apologies.
trying to maintain that and failing. lack of entry level and economy cars with manuals and
They also say I put the dick in diction,
oh, that's true.
if you will.
That's true. It with consent.
Yes.
The
And authority.
exactly. That's like a good name of like a rap duo, right? Like
Consent
authority.
I like it.
Exactly.
Or tag team wrestling team, you know?
Yes. So, long and the short of it is also another good
Dick combo.
hip hop duo. Long and the short of it. The thing I miss the most is the like modern kind of like tossable light small economy cars.
No pun intended,
have-
stripper model, right?
Sure.
Like get a manual, roll up windows, no power features.
I believe there's one left though. The Nissan Versa, baby.
Oh, boy.
The base, 0 options, available in probably 4 colors. Nissan Versa, sedan. I don't know, is the Note still around?
I don't know if
Does
they
anyone
made
know?
that. That was the smaller
Versa.
one, correct?
That was just basically what they cut the trunk back a little bit and rounded it and made it like a hatch,
Remember when they made a big deal of that vehicle? Like it was in Heroes, that little superhero show that was
Was it
pretty
in
popular
that?
for a while. Yeah, they were like selling it. In
That
every
was like
episode.
save the cheerleader, save the world. Was
Yeah,
that show?
yeah. The
Yeah.
Versa was like the main. You know, I gotta be right. It's been what
Some
we're
product
talking
placement.
decades now, right?
You are good at your old and aging
Horrible recollection.
pop culture references.
Can't remember what happened 5 minutes ago, but
So yes, Nissan Versa is kind of the last bastion of that. I think. I don't know if you can still get like the Subaru XV Crosstrek base with a manual. I know you could for a long time. You might still be
they
able
might
to.
have axed it. Yeah, you never know, right?
And just everything has gone to CVT
Forester,
madness.
too. The Forester used to be able to get with the
You
manual
can, yeah,
base.
you can get a base Forester manual for a long time. That ship has sailed. But I think the last true standard bearer of the base, the base dog food quality ship box with a manual, I think is because I don't think you could in the.
I didn't put this one on my list, but
I don't think the Mirage you can anymore.
I've got a pair. The
Oh,
Chevy
I know you
Spark.
have a pair, sir.
Oh, yes. Did you hear him hit the seat when I sat down? Like 5 seconds before I sit down. There.
Splash.
The Chevy Spark, my friend.
You can you still get that?
Yes.
With it? You can.
And that is that's the actual trenches of drudgery of
I didn't think you
horrible
could still
kind of
get the
box.
Spark.
I'm pretty sure you can.
Oh, I'm gonna do research. But what else?
I
So
think
that's
they're
what I
still-
miss.
They
is
might
the-
still sell 22s and call up 23s.
That might
but
be- that might
they
be it.
definitely like right there with the Versa. For the longest time, the Versa held the title of cheapest new car you can purchase in the United States.
The Versa did?
Yes.
Yeah, it did
For
for
the
sure. And
longest time.
I think it's moved now to the. I think that's the Mitsubishi Mirage has now taken that mantle, with the like.
They didn't cut the
1.5
Mirage back yet. I thought
It's
they
still
stopped.
there.
Ooh.
They have like
They
the
just can't sell
Mirage,
them
and then they
from
have the
2020.
Mirage G4, which is just like a sedan version, in case you wanted less utility.
Do you want a Mirage a little bit? Because I do. I'm not gonna lie. I want a little manual Mirage just to beat on. I don't know why. It's a horrible thought.
And the beat goes on.
They still have drum brakes too. Anything with still offering drum brakes, it just makes me sad inside.
Right.
2023 and we got drum brakes, guys.
Yeah.
That's
Drum
a
it up.
muscle car. Where it's basically a muscle car.
Yeah, man. Oh, the whole. Actually, you know what? The Chevy Spark itself has been discontinued for 2023. So yes, you could get a
Last
22.
year. Yeah, there we
you
go,
could get
buddy.
a 22 Chevy Spark
With a manual. And that is absolutely.
But now the entire model has died with taking the transmission option along
What
with
a
it.
horrible car.
Yeah, they're pretty
Right
subpar.
there, yeah. So I went in a different direction with my first one,
Okay.
the Nissan Z.
Yeah.
It's nice to see put a twin turbo 6-cylinder in there, reminiscent of my Z32, 6-speed manual gearbox as God intended.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the style of them. Have you seen one in real life yet? Because
yeah, I
they
have.
look,
Yeah,
they
they
look
look
like proper good.
They look
Like
sharp.
the front end's good. It's better than the demo kind of like spoiler thing they had, like the little prototypical
Right.
model that was driving around. But the rear end's what does it because it's like harkens back to the Z32,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it
it
looks
good.
just looks good. Overall, the vehicle looked good. I've heard it's not as hardcore, but in Z history, Zs have never been like hardcores. Maybe
That's
the
probably
240,
pretty
maybe
true.
the 300ZX a little bit, but they were kind of more GT sports cars, right?
Yeah.
So big ups for them, like coming out the gate with a 6-speed manual. We didn't have to wait. BMW Supra,
Right.
looking at you.
No, but if
Corvette,
you
never
were going to
gonna have
go
a
right
manual.
now, buy and I don't know where I'm at either.
Are you going to ask me if I buy a Supra or a Z?
Right now,
Z.
it's same money. Let's
Z.
say it's same money because they're pretty
It's
close.
not.
I think the Z's
No.
a little cheaper. I don't want to say it's like 10
the
or
Super's
15%
the
cheaper.
Super's a significant amount more.
Yeah,
And it's
it's a BMW.
a lot faster.
The Super is.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a lot faster. I still get the Z.
yeah.
I get it in a cool color like that highlighter yellow.
The highlighter yellow, or they have that like that coppery bronzish kind of color.
That's a good one too. I think I go Z, man. I think I do in that case.
I would refuse to pay ADM on either one of those.
Zero chance. I think you can get a Nissan closer though, because the Super is just way more attention, right? And now that you can get a Supra manual, but if it came down to the automatic versus manual, no way.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know that pitches the battle way towards the Z, but yeah, cool. Big ups for and also Nissan like recovering from being like down and literally out and bouncing back with
What's
something
their
like
next?
this.
What's Nissan's next move? Oh, and they've got this new. I keep seeing commercials for this insufferable
Electric.
commercials. I should say, yeah, for the what was it, the Aria,
Who's in it? It's
the Aria Stark. I don't know who that is. That's in the commercial.
It's the lady from Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel. Right?
Yeah, maybe I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not Marvel movie guy.
Oh, okay.
For more alliteration.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't.
But Miss Marvel was cool. It's pretty cool.
Marvelous, if you will.
Yeah, she was marvelous.
There you go.
But yeah, great vehicle. Good job, Nissan.
Well done.
Props.
I want to see their next move though. I want to see if they can do something cool next. I don't know.
I mean, they made the Frontier nicer. That's
Yeah.
pretty sweet. Comes in a cool green.
so far we're just singing the praises of Nissan so far this episode. That's all we're doing.
That's true, right? Was that a praise for the Versa base
Exactly.
model?
For something different, that's probably between what you said and what I said.
Ooh.
Remember when I was talking daily driver speak?
Yeah.
And I was just like, maybe I should get something like a Kona N.
Oh,
You can get the Elantra N with a manual, my friend.
on my list as well, my friend.
I
Big
like the
ups.
launch color's cool.
Yes.
I know the looks are you either think it's disastrously ugly or kind of cool. I tend more to think it's kind of cool.
Kind of cool.
I don't think it's that ugly. I'm glad they took chances with the design. And by all accounts, they drive excellently.
Yeah, you're also talking to the king of cladding recognition. I love
True.
add-ons
Claddy
and
daddy?
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
Claddy Daddy, if you will.
Yeah.
Zaddy, Claddy Daddy.
Oh boy.
But fully agree.
Yeah, and not skull crushingly expensive. Like
Good value for the
mid-30s.
performance. Absolutely. Sounds cool.
Will it fall apart because it's a Hyundai product? Potentially.
I don't know.
Was child labor used to build it? Probably.
Dude, how do you get your hands in those little spots?
That's fair.
Right? It's
fair.
robots or children, people. You choose who's going to take over the planet.
Yeah, I mean, ever since we've like basically genocided the population of Oompa Loompas,
Yes.
due to forced labor and religious indoctrination,
And diabetes.
we have no other choice now but to look towards just disheartening, hellish levels of child slavery.
Well, the Veloster
but that's
N-
why it's such a reasonable price for the N car.
The Gap opened because the Veloster N, which was also well received, pretty
Yes.
cool car, sounded amazing out of the box.
May it
Died
rest in
off.
peace. Yeah.
R.I.P. The Elantra in its place.
Yep.
Also, a four-door sedan in a world where the sedan is basically dead. It's kind of
Correct.
cool, kind of a bold move.
How dope
too.
would that be if there was a wagon version of this? Though?
Ooh.
If there was an Elantra and wagon, it would be the toast of the town.
I mean, that'd be pretty damn cool.
It'd be incredibly cool.
Wow.
Like, I don't care if it's front wheel drive, whatever. Like, if there was an Elantra and wagon, it would be. I mean, it would be the media darling, right?
Oh, absolutely. If they kept the 6-speed in it.
Yeah, it was
Same-
otherwise identical.
Yeah, absolutely.
Otherwise identical. Maybe a special color that you can get, like.
You want a green of some sort, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, I do. I don't know what the market would dictate.
It'd look good.
Metallic brown.
Yeah, that would look cool.
That would be
Ooh.
very wagon. You get the brown manual wagon. You would be like
Maybe dull down some of the exterior touches a little bit for the wagon.
the 2010 Jalopnik commenter crowd would be incredibly happy.
it's manual brown wagon.
Just manual brown in my pants.
I
But
don't
yeah,
even own a car.
I'm going Elantra. I'm going Elantra N.
I like that. On my list as well, man.
Okay. What else do you have on your list? What else is in there? Kicking around.
How about this, my friend? A Ford Bronco base with a 7-speed manual. Frank, I'm talking. Listen to this though. Just hear me out.
Okay, I will hear you out.
Not a sport. We're
Not a
not
sport.
going to look at the
No
Ford
sport.
Escape.
Oh, but it's
I
a
mean,
fancy
Bronco
four.
Sport, my bad.
Yeah.
Modern retro styling. You get a modern retro gearbox, right? So except it's like
Plus a gear or
plus
two.
a gear. So super
three.
cool, right? You get a 2-door
Mm-hmm.
in the base. You get
Yep.
a 2.3 liter EcoBoost. So that little
Yep.
4-cylinder EcoBoost makes 300 horsepower.
Yep.
We're basically talking like a modern like S10 Blazer or the Ford Bronco 2. It's like a modern
Sure.
iteration of that. It's like stripped down. You get the manual. I think a 7-speed manual is kind of freaking cool in a base
It's
model.
cool.
2 doors. You get the good 300 horsepower, bro. I mean, honestly, it's a cool car.
It is cool.
And
I don't know if
offer it with
I
that
don't know if I
gearbox.
would want to live with it.
Why not?
As a general rule of thumb with trucks, I prefer autos. You know,
I think for
just-
something like this, I want the manual.
it is cool. It's different and more power to you. I just don't know.
Well, it's like my S10 Blazer. Like with an auto, I don't care. I wouldn't have cared. But it's got a 5-speed. You know? You know how I roll.
You're not wrong.
Manual or
I'll give
die
you that.
trying.
You're not wrong.
What
It's
I own 10 vehicles and only one of them's an automatic, and it's my daily because it didn't offer in a manual. But to be fair,
Right.
like I like the pairing of the 7-speed with 300 horsepower. It's
Sure.
going to be the lightest one. It looks.
And I've
cool.
heard they actually drive pretty good.
They drive pretty good.
Yeah.
They look really cool, and much like a Jeep, I don't like 4-door Jeeps. And I know that's their biggest seller, but I'll take a 2-door Jeep Wrangler any day.
I mean, it's the power move. Really, anytime you have an available
It just
2-door
looks
SUV,
better. It just looks better.
like it's the move.
Yeah.
It's just like when you have
It's
like
not
a really
the
cool
popular
bright
move,
color.
but yeah.
It's just like, do you get that? It's like you should, but I don't know if I have the testicular fortitude to pull it off.
How
Like, if
many
it
are they
came
going
down
to
it.
sell?
None.
So props.
Right.
Props to Ford for doing that. And like I had to call that out because that's honestly a vehicle I could get behind. Because it's just weird enough. Like, is that a 2-door? What the? 7-speed manual. That's just great. You know? I don't know. To me, that really hit me. That struck me when I found you could still buy one.
Yeah.
Option like that. That's pretty cool. They are going to sell none of those.
They're going to sell 16
exactly 0 of them.
at deep discounts from dealerships because they ordered one in.
That's my call. That's like a miracle that Ford made that. Also got me pumped. So
You know what gets me pumped? Pumped, torqued.
other than your Reeboks.
Exactly. I should. They should reissue. Did they reissue those? They had to have had. I don't know. I'm not.
I think they
sneakerhead, so
have.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure they have.
I want a GR Corolla.
Yep.
I want one. I don't want to pay ADM.
If that came with a DCT, I don't think it would get half the hype it got.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like that's.
It'd be faster.
It doesn't matter.
I'm just saying. I'm just
yeah.
saying. That's why it's a props, right?
Yeah. No. And that car is cool. I'm a Toyota guy, and so. I don't like that they don't come in fun colors. But
Fair.
And I don't like extreme ADM. I mean, I don't like buying new cars in general, if I'm being honest
Which is
with myself.
weird because you're totally into extreme EDM.
I'm curious what the difference between regular EDM and extreme EDM is.
I don't think
like,
we're ready for it, man.
It's like every single step of its creation done under like heroic doses of MDMA.
Just
like
Molly
the artist
everywhere.
does it, like the person who's mastering it is on like
dude,
is just
it's-
like rolling super hard. Like every single aspect of its creation
It's
is
just
like
a single tone. Like it's like
yeah, it's like the brown note. It's just yeah. So that's extreme EDM.
yes.
Extreme ADM, additional dealer markup, is something I can't get behind.
I've heard some pretty outlandish numbers for folks grabbing these too.
Yeah, they're like paying like 30 over and
Is
stuff
it
like
worth
that.
it? Absolutely not.
Lay your thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
Would you buy a GR
fan of
Corolla
the
for
front
$75,000-$80,000?
0% chance.
What do you buy at that price point, my man? There's like so much out there that's just better.
I'd rather have like 4
objectively.
Celica All-Tracks.
Right.
And
Damn, you can
one
get
of
some
each
good
generation.
ones.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
Get a
You can
really
import an
nice like
ST 205 for that price,
165,
too.
yeah, 85, 205.
Oh, we all want the 205.
We all do. I want to import one from like a Germany though or something.
So
where,
it's
like
left-hand
left-hand
drive.
drive. Like
Yes.
that's the pro
Yeah,
move.
that's it. Hey, you're right. You're right.
But yeah, in the same spirit of that, I'm glad that Toyota has kind of come back and really gotten back into the sporting scene in the last decade or so between the Lexus offerings.
GR86,
and now this.
the Supra.
Yeah,
The
Supra.
software
But
Supra.
that's the thing though. Like at least this is an all in-house Toyota product,
Fair enough.
and so it actually feels like a Toyota. and I'm glad that it exists, and I really want one. I just don't want to pay for one, which is, such is life, I suppose.
Yeah. Give it a couple years.
That's my plan, man.
Yeah, give it a couple years.
I will. What are you working with over there?
Well, kind of like the last automotive print ad quiz we had, the Civic Si and Type R have been long-standing manual-only cars.
Yeah.
They're still available in that configuration.
I don't know how I feel about the Civic Si. Because I think it's bang
like
for
the
your
last
buck,
one
really
better.
good. I just, it's not particularly fast or powerful, but
1.5 turbo, making 200 horsepower.
yeah, it's
Still
not bad.
6-speed manual.
Right.
In a world where the manual is dried up.
Oh no,
Honda-
I'm very happy. I like it on paper. I just don't know if I would like it real world.
Does Honda need any help? I mean, CRVs, pilots flying out the door. Why do they need to make the SI? Because, god damn it, they need to. Same with the Type R. The Type R coming to the States, and the new
Or
one.
the Integra Type R that's going to be coming to the States.
Let's hope it turns out good, because that Integra was
It
kind
says
of a
it's gonna
little
be
letdown, my friend.
Yeah, but they said it's going to be it's basically just a more expensive Civic Si, if you option it correctly.
I want a Type R. I want a 315 horsepower, 6-speed manual front-wheel drive car that just destroys racetracks, still daily, and it looks better. The new one looks significantly better, in my opinion, than the last iteration of the Civic Type R.
For sure.
they chilled
it's
it
far
out.
less I don't know, Pikachu edition looking. I don't know what the right terminology.
Edgy, like literally edgy, because there were so many damn edges,
actually,
fake vents.
Borderline murderous.
I celebrate the SI and the Type R because they're driver-focused cars. Honda makes plenty of get-around cars. I mean, these are always been driver-focused, right?
I get around. Yeah, and just good inputs. If it's a Honda manual transmission, the shifter is going to be silky and perfect.
Yep.
It's like Porsche and Honda carry the day as far as good quality shifters.
Early Miata.
Yeah, those are good
Drops
too.
right into the
Those are good too.
right into the turret on the top of the transmission. It's very direct.
How about that though?
linkages.
How about Miata?
That's on my list too, man.
Talk about it.
It's on
Tell
my
me
list.
more.
You want to segue?
No, yeah.
The new Miata.
Go for it.
It launched with it launched with 155 horsepower, 1.5. They
corrected that.
Yep. 2 years later, or I think
years,
it was 2 years.
Yeah.
They went to they kept a 2-liter, but it made 181. They raised the red line, everything good.
Yeah.
Right to an engine. Now it's got good power for its weight. They kept
manual transmission.
a 6-speed manual sent by the gods themselves.
That's right.
Also, the dimensions even smaller than the NA.
Yeah.
And the weight pretty similar for a modern car. It's incredible. If you, as someone that drives a lot of NA Miatas, to get out of an NA and into an ND, the amount of cabin tech, how nice it feels. Like there's material in the NA. You literally have nothing, and just to be in that and still not have a weight penalty, absolute engineering, Miata. Good job.
Good job.
It's just
Miata gang.
It's probably the most iconic sports car that anybody can buy.
Yes.
I don't think there's another, and it hasn't changed. It hasn't lost its philosophy. And we're celebrating, gonna be soon 40 years. Name another sports car other than the 911, but even the 911 can be argued that it's doubled in mass, at least in that 40-year period.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, definitely. It's
I love it when a 911 parks, like an 80s 911 or early 90s 911 parks next to a modern one. They look...
they're different cars.
On their own, they look the same, right?
Yeah.
And then you park it next to them and like, Jesus, is that a Cayenne?
Right, yeah, let alone really early stuff. I mean, that's kind of how it is. It's bloat. I mean, you could say the same thing about a Civic Si, right?
You can.
Kind of every generation has grown.
But the Miata did kind of.
The Miata's done it best.
Yeah, the NC got the biggest, and then ND scaled it back, and they know their market. And it's the fact that, speaking of miracles, the Miata, lasting this long, a small 2-seater convertible, affordable, in a world, it's gone through what, 2 SUV crazes in its lifespan, and still soldiered on. You have to salute the Miata for that, and I'm a huge advocate.
Have you heard about the new one though?
Yeah.
The Miata Cross.
Yeah.
Which is going to be the four-door
electric.
the four-door crossover. I'm making this up. It doesn't exist.
They are going to make an electric Miata though.
They are, but I'm talking if they made the Miata Cross as a 4-door crossover.
They do. It's called the CX-5.
That's true. Which apparently is actually. I mean,
it's been good for a while.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Been good for a while.
I saw one of this. Is it the MX-30? The electric.
Yeah.
Weird. Suicide door
weird.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just completely uncompetitive.
So many weird crossovers, some in-betweeners.
Tweens.
Yeah, Mazda builds good stuff, and like I said, you measure anything's lifespan in SUV crazes, it's a good car.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of withstood the test of time.
I think it's 3 SUV crazes, right? Because like in the 90s we had
What
one.
other convertibles have lasted from 90 until now? Like 911?
Cabriolet, sure, but not selling this nearly as much volume.
No, but I mean, pretty much you had what? 911, Camaro, Mustang. And Camaro died off for a couple years there.
It did.
So really Mustang.
And not true.
Can you name another?
And not true convertibles either.
The Mustangs were...
No, like based on a car it was based on a fictional car, right? The Miata was designed as a convertible.
But I mean, even as just any convertible, period, is it literally just Mustang and 911?
Moreno gave it a run.
Shout out to all the cross cab fans. I know you're listening. I know you're out there.
But yeah, jeez. Nope. Can't touch it. Can't touch the Miata. Capri tried for a little while.
Yeah. And there's some things that have come and gone, like the Volkswagen EOS.
Lotus Elan.
Yeah, the M100 Elan, or the Kia Elan.
Yeah.
Shut
up, Miata. Good job.
Speaking of Kia, do you know Kia has a Civic Si competitor? That no one talks about? The Kia Forte GT.
Well, some would say it is its forte.
It really is. Almost basically the same horsepower, 201 horsepower, 1.6 liter turbo, manual transmission.
That's right. Interesting.
And in a sedan, it very much is an exact competitor to the Civic Si. I'm assuming 0 people have driven it or purchased it. I don't know if I've ever. I'm sure I've probably seen one in the wild. I just didn't realize it because it was just like, oh look, there's a Kia Forte.
They kind of look cool. I mean, they didn't go too crazy. Like I think it's more sedate, but still sporty compared to the Elantra, their cousin vehicle.
Should we try and get our first press car? Should it be a Forte GT?
It's a long running name too. They had Fortes back in like the early 2000s, right?
Yeah, the Forte. A complete also ran of a car that 0 people talks about, and it blows my mind that it's still in production. Yeah,
but the Forte came out before the Stinger, right? So it'd be the Foreplay.
Yes, by a lot.
The Kia Foreplay. Because you got to please it before you tease it. Or tease it before you please it. Sorry, I messed that up.
It's okay. Yeah.
My bad.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah,
it happens
far too frequently.
Yeah.
Many people are left disappointed.
Way more when I was young.
That's true. So yeah, I mean, I like that would be my. I want to try one of those out now. A little Forte. That might be like a sneaky good. I'm just worried about like it falling apart.
I'm assuming they're in the low 20K price range.
Yeah,
got to be like a 23, 24.
Yeah, it's got to be like a 15 to 20% undercut of a Civic Si.
No ADM on that.
No, yeah, you probably walk in and get like, please
5 off.
our buyer got drunk and bought one into the dealership and we can't sell it, and it's
neat. Maybe it's a good car. I kind of want to watch a review of it now. I would guess it's less dynamic than an SI. I bet the gearbox isn't, definitely not Honda stuff. Not made of the Honda goodies.
Can I attempt a segue real quick? Not an actual segue.
Oh.
Because that guy,
I thought we were going to see a performance.
I think it didn't like the ex-CEO Segway die on one, like he fell off a cliff. Like he was like, I'm the new CEO.
That can't be true.
No, I'm telling you, I think he was like, I'm the new CEO and I'm going to turn this company around, and he just like fell off a cliff within like months of him taking over the business on a Segway.
On a Segway?
He just yeeted it off a cliff.
Did he hit a sick jump before?
I think he did like a wall ride and then
50-50
with his brain though, unfortunately. A fall ride is ultimately what he went on.
Lead by example.
I was trying to make an actual segue, and then I talked about the CEO of Segway dying.
Yeah, what were we going to segue there? The Forte?
I don't
review.
I don't even remember.
I'm trying to guide you back with keywords.
How about this though? How about manufacturers? Because the whole thing we're talking about is like, yay, there's manufacturers still making manuals, and they're producing a manual simply for enthusiasts. How about the manufacturers that have like whole models of cars that are made purely for us manual driving sport car folks? And by that I mean like you have the Golf R and the GTI, which were traditionally based off of like a more basic non-sporting car. Correct. And then same with the WRX, which was an Impreza but the spicy version with a manual and turbochargers and rally pedigree.
Evos, all that stuff. Yeah.
Those are 2 cars that you could now only get in the spicy version. You can't get a standard Impreza anymore, and they no longer sell the regular Golf stateside. You can only get a GTI or Type R, you know what I mean? Golf R.
You can get a DC, not a DCT. You can get a poopy gearbox in a WRX now.
You can get the. Don't you dare call it a CVT, sir. I believe it's the Subaru Performance transmission.
That's true. Yeah, you can only get the sporty version.
So hats off.
Good.
To them. What are your opinions on those cars?
The new WRX?
Sure.
They
let's start
lowered the
there.
red line.
They did by all accounts. So the
500?
motor's a little better.
No, I don't know about that. Dude, it's just not enough evolution, if you will. Oh, competitive.
Hey now.
Not enough evolution for me. They need to do something radical. Remember when they came up with that concept and then nothing happened? Like, I think it was like 10 years ago. Like,
Remember when they had an
WRX
STI
concept.
that wasn't a concept, but it was actually in reality, and then that disappeared?
04 and 05. Peak STI.
Yeah.
04 without an AC and radio.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
that's with the smaller bolt pattern and the 1 year specific
300
steering
horsepower.
wheel. Yeah,
Nearly.
yeah, good. I think
Cool car.
it's funny. Like everyone roasted the new WRX when it came out, as far as its appearance. I think it looks way better in person.
It's
And
fine.
I actually am like okay with that, like what volcano orange, whatever they call the.
You like orange
orange.
cars, though, but
Not really. I like burnt orange
you're
cars.
on record. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm like burnt orange, like bright ass orange. Very few. I like that one in orange though.
You'd take an F1, McLaren F1 in orange. You wouldn't complain.
I would take a McLaren F1 in anything.
Yeah, I'd take it in patina
In
rust.
actual covered
Yeah.
in actual human feces, like a thin veneer of shit. I would take that car.
I've got a good one, man.
Oh, what you got?
Dodge has held on to the muscle car,
They have
like in the
it's their
purest
hallmark.
sense. Mm-hmm. Probably not so much this year. 2023 is going to be the end of the Hellcat, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm calling out.
they say.
I'm calling out the 6-speed manual option,
Yeah.
717 horsepower.
Which, if I'm being honest,
that thing got a Hemi.
I've got a semi just
Oh,
thinking
I'm
about the
more than
performance of
that.
that. But the thing with it is, it's like
I don't care. I know what you're going to say. 6-speed manual muscle car.
it's too much, man.
It's not though.
It's too much.
Have you ridden?
I
in
still
one?
want
It's
it.
So awesome.
Oh, they're dumb.
It's awesome.
They're dumb. I would still order it that way. I think I would still get I would get the manual transmission and a good life insurance policy.
Last year, I think
Studded snow tires.
manual Hellcat in a good color because Dodge offers beautiful.
Yeah,
colors.
Dodge does good colors.
And if you're gonna
That's just tradition.
buy two, guys, drive the shit out of one, squirrel the other one away. You'll sell both for a profit in 20 years.
Here's my thing, though. I think that's a car that's like an enormous amount of people are going to do the squirrel away thing.
That's what I'm saying. You buy two.
But I think it's going to be, if you buy a car that nobody's going to squirrel away and you squirrel away, then you've done something cool.
Doesn't matter.
It's like every single time a new Corvette comes out, somebody buys two or buys one and squirrels it away, and then in 30 years, they
worth
think it's
nothing.
going to be worth everything, and it's not worth anything.
This
Because
one
every
will
one of those
be.
ever sold was put away and has 800 miles on it, and it never get driven. And, just like every Indy Pace Car Edition Corvette or Camaro or, it's the
Fiero,
30th
the Fiero
edition.
pace car demands a premium, my friend.
I just-
Did you see they were modified? They had the hood scoop like the MR2s had, so those
Yeah.
are worth a lot of money. But anyway, so you're saying, Frank,
just buy one. I'm saying just buy one and just beat the brakes off.
buy two. Why? Life
Buy
is
two and
short.
beat the brakes off.
20 years from now, you're
Don't
saying the
squirrel one
Hellcat manual of this year, the final year, isn't going to be worth a premium over what its MSRP is? I guarantee it.
First off,
20 years. In a
First
good
off,
color.
hyperinflation is going to come around, so it's
Oh
going to
my
be really
God.
hard to
adjust
sort
it
out.
for
But-
inflation.
But I think
Yeah.
the care and feeding and storage and insurance on that, and then the cost of you storing it, I think you'll break even on the other
I
end.
think they'll be special.
I think
there's.
I think you spend the money and you put 200,000 aggressive burnout filled miles
buy
on it,
two, baby.
and then you be the guy that has like the really nice 200,000 mile last year Hellcat. That is guy I would much rather be. The other guy or gal
if we
that
get-
has the squirreled away one is the same guy that puts those godforsaken crying baby dolls on their car at the car show.
I saw a base rental Challenger with the yellow like rub
Bananas?
guards. Oh
Yeah.
my god. Anyway, I agree. You shouldn't just squirrel it away. But that's why I said if we could be that guy, we would be that guy where we'd squirrel one, keep one on
I don't
everything.
think I would do the squirrel.
You're out of your mind. mind.
I wouldn't do the
You're
squirrel.
out of your mind. If you have money, no object,
I wouldn't squirrel
absolutely.
the squirrel. Yeah.
No, in a cool color, I get it in some kind of plum crazy or
If
something.
money's no object, I wouldn't care about the residual value. Money's no
No,
object.
but just so I can drive a fresh Hellcat in 20 years where everybody's buzzing around with jets and cars.
That's right.
And I can go,
Keep the bananas on it.
yeah, absolutely. I think that's a cool car, and I do think that's special. I am really
Challenger
sad
guy
to
though.
see
I don't want
the
to be Challenger guy though.
I don't want to see the Hemi go away. Who is Challenger guy anymore?
That's true. It's varied.
Yeah. This is a
I think
special Challenger.
Challenger guy is different than Charger guy.
Yeah, Charger's automatic 4-door.
Mm-hmm.
Challenger looks cool
Yeah,
still.
cutting in and out of traffic.
Oh boy.
Side showing.
Especially rental one. GT with all the body kit and hood scoops and no power.
Exactly. Yeah, one fender covered in stickers.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Well, that's what I got for that segment. Those are my modern miracle manual machines. Do you have any call-outs at the end, my friend?
Yeah, one I wanted to talk about, but I just realized I didn't. The dope Cadillac Blackwing twins.
Yep. Talk about
think a
short-lived.
CT5.
Talk about short-lived.
They killing them off already?
They're not going to hang out for more than a year or two.
They
won't.
But what a swan song! Because it's like that harkens back to like all of the long stories of big engine manual transmission GM products, and
Well,
so
Cadillac especially, right? They came out with the original CTSV.
Yeah, CTSV.
Was a Corvette powered, only, speaking of only 6-speed manual. Frank, how many Cadillac, before that, Cadillac with only a 6-speed manual option with a Corvette power plant.
I'm for it.
XTR should have had a manual.
and absolutely brutally poor interior qualities on those early cars.
I mean, they didn't get better for the second gen either. They were
They
always,
got a little bit better.
oh, if
They
you
got a
like
little
black
bit
piano
better.
fingerprints and
But the other one just absolute trash.
one of the
quality
worst
everything.
infotainment interactions you can have
Fair.
as a human being.
Fair, but the new one is dope, and the CT4 for that matter.
Sure, the CT4 is the better like sports car.
Yeah, ATSV edition.
That was a good car too.
So yeah, I would
Camaro platform.
I would play with either of those, and I feel like those are now we're beyond the ADM curve on those. Like you can buy a newish one or a gently used one for either MSRP, because let's face it, nobody's buying anything from a Cadillac dealership right now.
Yeah. Well, no, Escalades are selling pretty damn.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
For livery use and whatnot, and, I don't know, cartel use. Or you can get like a gently used one for like just under MSRP.
Sure.
So they're out there, and yeah, that's a good. I don't say a good buy, because what, like optioned out, you're talking 120K for a CT5.
Pricey. Real pricey.
But yeah, I
Cool car,
I want
though.
one of those.
Very cool.
Incredibly cool. You know what else is cool and fun?
Oh my god, our automotive print ad quiz game?
It is, which means I need to scramble real quick because I hadn't queued one up and get one ready for you. So while I'm doing that,
Oh, boy.
and I go into my lexicon here of potential ads that I can read to you and quiz upon you.
Let me do an expertly detailed rule introduction
Please.
to our new viewers. If you're a new viewer, thank you for joining us. If
Yeah,
you're an
thanks.
existing viewer, sorry for this lesson again. But this is our nearly famous automotive print ad quiz game show where we find 80s, 90s, early 2000s automotive print ads that were featured in publications, usually gentleman magazines, if you will, from that time period. We get to read through the ad itself, omitting anything that gives it away. Today, I will be the victim of Frank's onslaught, and I will have 3 guesses to arrive at what vehicle he's poorly describing, because these ads are all over the place. After I miss, which is inevitable, he will be able to give me a hint, or I can ask for a specific hint. We have 10 minutes on the clock when she finishes reading the ad, and I have to guess the vehicle. Trim is usually a bonus, but that's how we play it, guys.
That's it.
Do you need more time, my friend?
You know what? I think I'm gonna vamp here, and I'm gonna pull one out that is.
I'm gonna get the clock ready for us.
We'll see. I can't decide if it's easy or difficult, which is probably about
It's
where we
more-
want to be.
For us, it's more highlighting like really cool ads and cool cars, so versus stumping each other.
And this one's kind of interesting because the layout is slightly different.
Lay it on me, my man.
Then
So no
average.
driver 3/4 shot.
I will. No. This one it's a single page ad. The bottom half is looking directly straight from the top, like from like bird's eye view straight down, but
Damn.
only from like the cowl to like the back half of the roof, like a weird section of the
Just the midsection, if you will.
kind of, yeah. And then right above that, there's a little profile of the car,
Okay. Side profile?
side profile. passenger side to be specific. And then at the top it says, the blank, our idea of a sports car. Our idea is simple. We feel that a sports car should be nimble, stylish, economical to operate, and fun to drive. The fact is, we liked our idea so much, we built the car, the blank. To go along with the blank's bold, clean styling, we gave it a power-operated moonroof as standard equipment.
Damn.
Hence the picture I was talking
Yeah,
about.
you got to showcase that moonroof.
That's our idea of fun. We also gave it comfortable front bucket seats, quartz digital clock, electronic warning system, steel belted radial tires, and a 5-speed stick shift. Optional this year is our new fully automatic 3-speed transmission. Meanwhile, the front wheel drive rack and pinion steering, 1751 cc blank engine.
What?
I'll save the blank for a hint later. And 4-wheel independent suspension of advanced design. The blank is one of our nimblest blanks.
Wait, what was that 4-wheel steering?
4-wheel independent suspension of advanced design.
Advanced design.
Finally, we come to be the nicest thing of all about the blank.
The price.
Once you get in, you don't want to get out.
Oh.
And with a sports car, isn't that the whole idea? Blank. We make it simple. And then it has the blank 5-speed, 25 EPA test MPG, 30 highway MPG. Your mileage may vary. Whether actual mileage will probably be less. Features lower for California and altitude cars.
Less horsepower.
That, my friends, and Chadwick,
no information.
is what we've got.
Sunroof, 4-wheel independent suspension.
Quartz clock, 5-speed, brand new for the year, optional 3-speed transmission.
Automatic.
Perhaps it was up from 2 speeds. I don't know.
Oh,
they make
God.
it simple. Front-wheel drive, rack and pinion steering, 1751 cc.
That's a weird end. I bet they call it a 1.8, don't they?
I believe in parlance of the day, they would have called this a 1.8. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let me start the clock. 1.8 quartz clock. I don't know if it means quartz digital clock or like I pictured like a Lexus clock at first. I'm like, no, not the.
It could be digital. Did they make a quartz movement analog clock? I suppose they probably
do. Yeah, 100%.
That's a thing.
Boy, oh boy, I don't have a lot to work with here, Frank. Sunroof. That makes it sound different. What came with a later with
It should be nimble, stylish, economical to operate, and fun to drive.
1.8 though.
Got that moonroof, dog.
Got the moonroof. And it was only a manual, it sounded like it at its launch. But boy, it read like an American car ad at first. I'm not gonna lie. But a 1.8 independent suspension didn't sound American though. This is tough, dude. 4-wheel independent suspension. 1.8. Sunroof. Jesus. 5-speed manual is an option. 3-speed auto, brand new. Quartz clock, which makes me think it's kind of like. Boy. This is tough, dude. 1.8. It's tripping me up. I don't know if too many 1.8 American cars. I wanted to say MR2. I was thinking early MR2. I don't know if those came. Did they? Why am I blanking on that? Let's start. Oh, they would have mentioned more than that. I don't know. Let's start it off. Let's go early, first gen. Toyota MR2.
Good guess. That's a 1.6.
That's right.
In those. The 4AGE.
Okay.
So it is not that car. I will give you this. You said first gen MR2. It's not a first gen MR2, but it is a first gen something else.
Can Can I ask for?
which has multiple generations. It's not a one and done. It's not.
Can I ask for like? Am I right on country of origin?
You are also right on country of origin.
So okay.
Yes.
Cool.
You're correct on country of origin. This is a Japanese product, and it is the first generation of a line of Japanese products.
With a 1.8.
Mm-hmm.
With a sunroof for the first time in an automatic.
Oh no, it's a moonroof, my friend.
Power moonroof even.
Power, yeah.
Oh,
Power
boy.
operated as standard equipment.
With a quartz clock.
Yeah.
There is not a lot here, my man. They're showing the windshield cowl back to the back of the car to show off the sunroof. And then they're showing a side profile. And they're calling it a sports car.
It's their idea of a sports car.
So it's a company, yeah. So
Nimble, stylish, economical to operate, and fun to drive. We make it simple was apparently the company's tagline at the time, which I was not aware of.
with a 1.8.
1.8.
Because it makes me want to go, CRX would have been kind of in there too, right? But
Perhaps.
a CRX would have a 1.6.
I think the early ones were 1.5.
Correct, but I was thinking like maybe the SI gets the sunroof, which they would have touted that engine. And the first gen didn't have that 1.6; it only had the 1.5. Wait, no. I want to say Nissan. I'm getting Nissan vibes. How about? Yikesy! What we consider a sports car. How about like a first gen quartz clock?
Get hung up on
Is the quartz clock a big deal? Am I making too much out of that? I think
No, I'll give you this. I think the quartz clock, along with the optional 3-speed transmission, helps date.
it
this
does.
car.
We're talking 80s, 100% talking mid to late 80s. Like we're right to 86 to 88 is where I'm.
Maybe earlier, I don't know.
Maybe even 84. Can I go? Fuck it. I need some substance out of this. Nissan Pulsar, or not Pulsar? Yeah. The Pulsar before it became the NX. Final answer.
It is not
Okay.
the Nissan Pulsar. It is. That's a very good guess, and it's pretty analogous to this particular car and kind of how it came to be. I'm going to give you the blank.
Because
on
there's
the
no.
engine.
Is it going to be turbocharged?
No. Meanwhile, with front-wheel drive, rack and pinion steering, 1751 CVCC engine, and four-wheel independent front suspension. So CVCC, which stood for what was it?
Continually viscous, right? Or continuously variable.
No. It's basically a combustion chamber. It's like convex or complex vector combustion chamber. It was an emissions thing for a prominent company that made them famous.
And it's Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, there's just not enough substance. 1.8.
First generation of a CVCC engined sports car. See, now I'm gonna look. You think I'm gonna look up exactly what CVCC stands for.
I don't think that's a good enough hint, my friend. It's too obscure.
I'm surprised. I thought
not-
you would know.
Like, you don't even know the acronym.
I know the.
I know what you're talking
I'm
about.
within-
I remember that coming out, but I don't. It doesn't like. I'm not that clued in on it.
Compound vortex controlled combustion.
And it made like
Technology
2 more
developed and
horsepower than
trade
regular.
marketed by blank company.
It's a 1.8. It's a bigger engine.
1.8 CVCC.
Was Nissan right or wrong?
Nissan is incorrect.
Okay. 1.8. God, I want to say Toyota for some reason, but they don't. They didn't get weird with their engines.
Motor's
like
carbureted.
that. Yeah. So it's 84, 82. Dude. 1.8 carb. This is a weird one. Not enough substance.
Okay, so it's the first generation of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, or five generations of car.
0.8 though. Well, they did weird stuff with their engines. Let's just try. Did it have pop-up headlights too? You don't have to answer that. You can just wink at me.
It does not have pop-up headlights. Not in this generation. The generation after it did.
I love pop-ups. Final guess. I just don't have anything to go on here. Let's go with an early issue Honda Prelude. Final answer, my friend.
The Honda Prelude, our idea of a sports car.
Fuck.
You pull. The Hail Mary was caught in the end zone, my friend.
Dude, yeah, that was that is
first gen Honda Prelude.
That is incredibly tough to guess, bro.
Particularly.
I remember they were doing weird. Honda did a lot of weird stuff with their engines, right? They had a 5-cylinder in the Acura Vigor.
Yep.
Which was
really
only
weird. Yeah, stateside application of that.
Still weird though. Weird as hell.
First gen Prelude. So this particular ad is from 1980 on the nose.
Okay.
This generation was from 79, I think, to 82.
In which case the pop-up more wedge came out.
Yeah, then 83 came around. You had the more wedgy pop-up one.
Which is pretty cool looking.
Yeah, pretty cool.
This is not aged as well in the looks department.
I have a soft spot for these cars.
Better than the second gen? I think the second gen's a little more.
I think these are so incredibly... The first gen Prelude is like one of the most like overlooked, unloved cars.
Dude, here's the thing. If half your car ad is your moonroof, why is it the size of a mail slot? It's like literally like a...
Well, the whole car is the size of a mail slot.
No, but come on. You can see what? You can see the crotch area of the seat, and that's
all you need to see, my friend. Okay. All right.
Dude, that was challenging on a scale of challenge.
You did. I thought CVC, like if you knew the whole Honda CVCC thing.
I know they did weird stuff. That's the only thing that clued me in.
So before we jump into PCP real quick, as a means of celebrating your flawless victory, the whole CVCC thing was that like put Honda on the map. So they rolled that out in like the mid 70s as it basically made the engines burn so clean they were able to pass U.S. federal emissions without cats.
Yes.
To the point where I want to say GM, I don't remember who it was, Bob Lutz, I don't know. Somebody at the time was like, executive at GM was like, oh, like it's nonsense and they don't need to, And so Honda bought like a 1975 Impala or something like that, brought it over there, they they built new heads with the CVCC technology in it, got it to blow, got a Chevy 350 to blow clean.
That's amazing.
Without a catalyst system on it to basically give them the middle finger.
Well, I tell you what, let's celebrate with a real quick dose of PCP.
We should celebrate.
Keep it under 5 if we can.
PCP. Yes.
You,
yeah, you know what I did?
Project Car Progress, by the way.
Project Car Progress, indeed.
I
got some work done on the Galant. I got the leaky, the exhaust leak taken care of, which it's had. It started to develop on the Coastal Range Rally. I took it down for homie Doug to do his review video of it down in San Diego, and on the drive down, it got progressively a little bit worse.
You immortalized it.
I did, and I got it back here. It drives okay, but a very, very audible exhaust leak.
Sure.
Dug into it. It's the gasket between the exhaust manifold and the turbo. Ordered a new one. I went to go, just before a car show this past weekend, 2 weeks ago from when y'all are hearing this, a local one, with our friends at Vault, Vault Auto Club here in the Bay Area, guests and friends of the program. They put on a car show. I took the Galant to that. It was a good time, but I didn't want to limp it in there embarrassingly with an exhaust leak. Got a new OEM gasket, which was available from local dealership. And when I went to go back the bolts out, like 2 of them were just hand tight. So somewhere between the rally and heat cycling in.
Things, yeah.
So that's what I did. So I put the new gasket in there. Wasn't that difficult to do. Torqued it all down. Heat cycled it a couple of times. Got it up to operating temp. Shut it down. Let it cool. Got it up to operating temp. Shut it down. Let it cool before I put all the heat shields back on.
Nice.
Torqued it down to the recommended 47 pounds. Put it all back together. It's been great. Drove it out to the rally. I took the kid on a drive out to, there's this like shipwreck in Point Reyes.
Very cool.
Went out there. I've got probably 200 miles on it since.
Perfect.
And it's been great. It's been good. We're back in business, and I'm really happy about it. How
My
about you?
PCP's much more negative than yours, which was in a positive event. Also preparing for a car show this weekend, I was going to go down to Morning Motors with our friends from DWA.
Another friend of the program.
Yes.
Look at that.
300ZX twin turbo, my 1990 Nissan.
Yeah.
Got an alignment. I busted my ass really, really late nights doing all the cosmetic stuff to bring it up to snuff.
Were you doing PCP, actual PCP?
I
to
had
get that
to.
done?
You had to. I think
cross
it's an
we
upper.
bear.
Is it an upper or a downer?
This is something.
Yeah, it is something. So making good power, car went well. I had to get an alignment because I did all that front suspension work. Control arms and the outer tie rods, big deal. I get them pretty close, but you're still going to be off a little bit. So get an alignment, brand new tires. I don't want to wear them unevenly. On the trip home, we're like maybe 3 miles from home. All of a sudden, the water pump self-destructs. I didn't know this at first, but I did smell a lot of burning coolant at the time and a lot of clink, 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 clink.
Does that mean you never made it to the show?
Never made it to the show. More so, the car needs a lot of work. So what had happened is the head of the water pump where it connects to the water pump pulley completely separated from the water pump and can be freely turned. All the coolant obviously shut out at that point, right? Which if you have a leak at your water pump, it's going to leak. If your water pump breaks, you're going to spray coolant everywhere.
Yay!
Took the fan out because this is a clutch fan car.
Okay.
The fan hit the crank pulley, and the fan is plastic, and it did not win that fight. The crank pulley made of hardened steel ate through the fan. And the clutch fan motor feels weird, so all that's getting replaced. I'm going to do the thermostat while I'm in there. It's a big job.
Clutch,
Take the front off a 300ZX twin turbo. That's a job. I don't even want to know what a mechanic charges for that.
Yeah.
So I'm replacing everything, and it should be healthy in no time. Waiting for parts to come in. So
the parts train.
Big setback, but the good news is the car actually, not having driven it for two years, right? Drove fantastic. So
good.
All the work I put into it seems to have paid off, except for water pump also had 20,000 miles on an OEM water pump.
Weird.
So I didn't know what to do.
You getting a replacement from the dealer?
I'm not. Nope. I'm just gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna do a Gates. I have good luck with their stuff, so I'm not gonna chance it with Nissan again.
No.
I don't know why.
Dang Nissan. I wonder who makes the original. It's like Aisin.
Probably
or like
Aisin.
Hitachi or one of those. Yeah.
But this was all branded Nissan and everything too, and I had records of when it was done at the dealership. So 20,000 miles, week. But anyway, let's close this puppy out. Thanks.
Yeah, let's shut her down.
Yeah, thanks again, guys, for joining us here at APA Podcast, another Pointless Automotive Podcast.
Yes.
Big shout out to Carb Park for hosting us again.
Guys.
Beautiful backdrop, Aventador.
Just hanging out.
SVJ 63. Those are pretty rare.
Yeah, there's 63 of them, I believe.
Shit.
Not
just a clipper name.
How about you've got your sweatshirt on yet again? Is that where one can find you, Chadwick?
One can find me rescuing and restoring turd boxes. That is Auto Obsessive Garage on the YouTube, sometimes on Instagram. Check me out there. Frank, how about you? Where can they follow your endeavors?
I'm the photographer's garage at all the places, but nobody cares.
Fantastic.
They care about all what we're doing here, and we care about you following along and watching and listening and telling your friends and sending us inappropriate messages in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
so keep doing that.
And please, and broaden your listening to viewing. Check us out on YouTube. We do have a channel there where you can see us. There's some fun stuff, sometimes some visual enjoyment, if you will. Or not. At our YouTube channel.
Something to make you uneasy when you watch us.
Absolutely, very uneasy. Another Pointless Automotive Podcast, APA Podcast, wherever you listen to your podcast. And feel free to rate and review the show. We do appreciate the feedback. And, thank you for your time, guys, as always. Take care.
Bye.
Peace.